Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome! On Inside Star Citizen this week, we got to see more in the latest of planet-side bases and homesteads, so today I would like to delve further into that. As always, these videos are made possible thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. Thank you guys so much for the support. Big thank you to JSFVW for rejoining as a channel member. All of the links are in the description below if you'd like to learn more. So on this week's Inside Star Citizen, we got to see the latest work in progress on NPC homesteads that one day as players we will be able to get access to. As usual, any and all updates regarding base building and its associated systems, like the creation of NPC villages, I will cover in smaller dedicated videos just to keep you all up to date. But what we saw this time was the continuation of whiteboxing of several of the colonialism outpost buildings which have been concepted over the last few months. CIG are using the idea of a small home as their starting point, which we have seen on the progress tracker on the roadmap. And this time round, they've been creating various building assets, like the standalone battery packs, rooftop solar panels, and life support units, all of which will be required for the day-to-day running of the outpost. So batteries for power, solar panels maybe to charge these battery packs, and then life support to obviously keep the oxygen flowing inside. Do expect to see many more of these in the future, like what we saw during the concepting stage. So they've also been boxing out small garage units that can fit an Ursa rover. These garages are going to be so incredible when we are building and living in our own homes. Having a place that we can pull into and work on our vehicle, maybe swapping components, repairing, refueling, all next door to our own home. That is going to be amazing. As usual, we can see ladders up to the roofs, as they do want to allow for a lot of traversal options, which will be great fun, especially taking in sunsets or sunrises. They've also done some tests using the terrain modification tool to see just how the buildings work with the smoothing volume, so creating flat surfaces to see how it looks and flows, as if those who built these places in the verse flattened the land beforehand. So internally, they have begun blocking out the social spaces, the connecting modules, the canteen area, which we have seen recently in a few previous videos, a conversation pit, which is very Star Warsy, hub units for players to decorate and store items, and a bathroom. I do wonder if one day we'll be able to rent a room at an NPC village. That would be quite cool, a bit like on Skyrim where you go to the local village and you go to the local inn and rent a room there. Externally, they are exploring materials that were used to build these structures, as well as figuring out how that fits into the lore of the verse. So for example, things like foundation stones that were used to build them, all the way up to the paint that's been used. What is great about the way that these buildings are being designed and created is that they establish them in the lore first as well. So the style of building and the materials used all make sense to the original architects in the lore, and the materials found locally on that planet or moon that would allow for such construction. For example, the bedrock or the rock that can be mined in that location. Not to mention the process of how these buildings will wear and age over time. These will vary from where they're constructed. So for example, on deserts like Daymar, these buildings will gather sand, and locations like Yella, you will see ice and snow building up. Now, as this is all new to the Star Citizen teams, it is said that they are having a lot of fun exploring what they can do. And this is one of the biggest benefits of having no deadline. They can spend the time to try new things and push boundaries, do a bit of research and development that otherwise would not really be allowed. So great things come out of these tests that will eventually benefit us all. But that is the latest on the homesteads being constructed for NPCs and eventually player-owned, player-built homes, structures and settlements, villages and towns. There is some amazing work that is coming along very well. And it's not going to be long until we start to see these locations dotted around the planets and moons of the verse, full of missions, characters and opportunities for all players to take part in. But with that said, if you want to keep up with the continued development of homesteads, be sure to hit subscribe as I cover them all very closely. And to learn more regarding player base building, I have linked my videos below and the rest of the series in the description as well. If you want to be notified when my videos go live, be sure to tick up that notification bell, and if you can do the channel a big favour and hit that thumbs up, I would appreciate it. We will be talking more about what we saw on Inside Star Citizen over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers on today's stream. Again, a big thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.